OpenAI banned from using Claude AI before GPT-5 launch? What's the real story? In a shocking move, Anthropic has cut off OpenAI's access to its AI models right before the highly anticipated launch of GPT-5. This decision was made due to alleged violations of Anthropic's terms of service by OpenAI. But here's where it gets controversial. OpenAI was using Anthropic's Claude AI to test and improve their own models. Is this a case of unfair competition or simply industry standard practice? According to Anthropic spokesperson Christopher Nolte, OpenAI's use of Claude Code, a popular tool among coders, was in direct violation of their terms. However, Nolte also stated that Anthropic will continue to provide OpenAI with API access for benchmarking and safety evaluations, which is a common practice in the AI industry. OpenAI had been using special developer access, APIs, to plug Claude into their own internal tools, allowing them to evaluate the rival AI model's capabilities in coding, creative writing, and safety-related prompts. The results from these tests reportedly helped OpenAI compare and adjust their own models accordingly. Anthropic's terms of service clearly state that customers are not allowed to use their AI models to build competing products or services, including training competing AI models or reselling the service. OpenAI's Chief Communications Officer Hannah Wong responded to Anthropic's decision, expressing disappointment but respecting their choice. Wong also pointed out that OpenAI's API remains available to Anthropic. Interestingly, this isn't the first time Anthropic has cut off a competitor's access to its AI models. Earlier this year, they restricted access for AI coding startup Windsurf after reports emerged about a potential acquisition by OpenAI. Anthropic's chief science officer, Jared Kaplan, commented on the situation, saying it would be odd for them to sell Claude to OpenAI. So what do you think? Is Anthropic justified in cutting off OpenAI's access? Or is this a case of stifling innovation and competition in the AI industry? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Anthropic cuts off OpenAI's access to Claude API. What you need to know. In a bold move that underscores the cutthroat competition in the AI industry, Anthropic has pulled the plug on OpenAI's access to its Claude models. This decision has sent shockwaves through the tech world, raising questions about ethics, competition, and the future of collaboration between rival AI companies. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this a necessary step to protect Anthropic's intellectual property, or just another example of monopolistic tendencies creeping into the AI space? Let's dive deeper. According to multiple sources familiar with the situation, Anthropic informed OpenAI on Tuesday that its API access was being revoked due to violations of the company's terms of service. A spokesperson for Anthropic, Christopher Nolte, explained the rationale behind the decision in a statement to Wired. He noted that Claude Code, Anthropic's advanced coding tool, had become incredibly popular among developers, including, apparently, some within OpenAI itself. Unfortunately, this is a direct violation of our terms of service, Nolte emphasized. To clarify, Anthropic's commercial terms explicitly prohibit customers from using its services to develop competing products or train rival AI models. Additionally, users are not allowed to reverse engineer or duplicate Anthropic's offerings. This restriction takes on added significance given recent reports suggesting that OpenAI is preparing to launch GPT-5, an upgraded version of its ChatGPT model rumored to excel at coding tasks. Could OpenAI have been leveraging Claude to fine-tune their upcoming release? That's the part most people miss, and it's worth considering as we unpack this story further. Insiders reveal that OpenAI wasn't simply using Claude through its standard chat interface. Instead, they were integrating it into their internal tools via special developer access, APIs. This gave them the ability to rigorously test Claude's performance in areas like coding, creative writing, and even responses to sensitive prompts involving child safety materials, self-harm, and defamation. by comparing Claude's outputs to those of their own models under similar conditions, OpenAI could identify strengths and weaknesses, making adjustments as needed. While such benchmarking practices are common in the industry, Anthropic clearly felt this crossed a line. OpenAI pushed back against the decision in a statement provided by Chief Communications Officer Hannah Wang. She acknowledged the importance of evaluating other AI systems to track progress and enhance safety, but expressed disappointment over Anthropic's choice to sever API access. While we respect Anthropic's decision, Wang stated, it's unfortunate given that our API remains accessible to them. Nolte countered by assuring that Anthropic will still provide OpenAI with limited API access for benchmarking and safety evaluations, aligning with industry norms. However, the company hasn't clarified whether this restricted arrangement will fully meet OpenAI's needs for ongoing research and development. The lack of specifics here leaves room for speculation and perhaps frustration on both sides. This isn't the first time a major tech player has revoked API access from a competitor. In fact, it's a well-worn tactic in the tech world. For instance, Facebook famously cut off Vine's access to its APIs years ago, sparking accusations of anti-competitive behavior. More recently, Salesforce imposed restrictions on competitors accessing certain Slack data through its API. Even Anthropic itself has taken similar actions before, notably restricting Windsurf, an AI coding startup rumored to be on OpenAI's acquisition radar, after concerns arose about potential misuse of its technology. Though that acquisition ultimately fell through, the incident highlights how quickly tensions can escalate when proprietary AI tools are involved. Jared Kaplan, Anthropic's chief science officer, addressed the Windsurf situation in a TechCrunch interview last month, stating, "I think it would be odd for us to be selling Claude to OpenAI." His comments suggest a broader principle at play. Why should one company help another build a product that might eventually outpace its own? Interestingly, just one day prior to terminating OpenAI's access, Anthropic announced new rate limits for Claude Code, citing overwhelming demand and occasional breaches of its terms of service. These changes hint at a growing need for Anthropic to balance accessibility with control, especially as its tools gain popularity and attract high-profile users who may push boundaries. So what does all this mean for the future of AI development? Will restricting API access become the norm, stifling innovation and collaboration? Or is this merely a temporary phase as companies navigate uncharted territory in the race to dominate the field? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with Anthropic's decision, or do you think it sets a dangerous precedent? Share your opinions in the comments below. Anthropic cuts off OpenAI's access to Claude AI models. In a surprising turn of events, Anthropic has decided to sever OpenAI's access to its esteemed Claude models, as reported by Wired. https Wired.com story, Anthropic revokes OpenAI's access. According to sources, OpenAI was utilizing Claude in conjunction with its internal tools to compare Claude's performance with its own models across various categories, including coding, writing, and safety. However, Anthropic has deemed this usage as a violation of their terms of service, as it was allegedly used to build competing services. In a statement to TechCrunch, an Anthropic spokesperson confirmed that OpenAI's technical staff had been using their coding tools ahead of the launch of GPT-5, which is considered a breach of Anthropic's commercial terms. Despite this, Anthropic has stated that it will continue to grant OpenAI access for benchmarking and safety evaluations. On the other hand, an OpenAI spokesperson defended their actions, describing their usage as industry standard. They expressed disappointment in Anthropic's decision to revoke their API access, especially since OpenAI's API remains available to Anthropic. This situation has sparked controversy, with Anthropic executives, including Chief Science Officer Jared Kaplan, previously expressing reluctance to provide access to competitors. Kaplan had previously justified Anthropic's decision to deny access to Windsurf, a rumored OpenAI acquisition target, by stating, "I think it would be odd for us to be selling Claude to OpenAI." This incident raises questions about the ethics of using AI models for competitive advantage and the implications for the AI industry as a whole. What do you think about Anthropic's decision to cut off OpenAI's access to Claude models? Is it a necessary step to protect their intellectual property, or does it stifle innovation and collaboration in the AI community?